to be brought the west side because it faced California, his home state. Gerald Ford wanted to be brought through the House chamber because he served in the House. So again, it is, a reflection of who they are, how they want to be remembered. Dwight Eisenhower, interestingly, as a man who served as head of our Allied troops in World War II, wanted to be buried in an $80 government-issued casket, and the seal of the president was placed on it. But again, a nod to an extension of this was a man who led our soldiers.
Let's go back if we can, because you gentlemen who served in the Carter administration keep talking about that moment in 1977. There it is on the left side of your screen. President Carter, little Amy Carter, who entered public school here in Washington, D.C., Rosalind Carter, the First Lady. There they are walking down Pennsylvania Avenue. Is that the first time that it happened in the modern era?
It is the first time, and it's very interesting that about the first day in office, he went to the Justice Department and symbolically opened the doors because it had been such a closed, Nixon-oriented institution. So these were all ways of reinforcing his campaign message that it was time to have a common man who was going to open the government up, be transparent, be honest, I'll never lie to you. This was all part of the campaign that he tried to carry into the White House.
And, on that, when you talk about common man of it all and of his legacy and of him, who he was constitutionally, the idea that he did meticulously plan this, as do most presidents and their families, and yet we're watching something that clearly, given the fact that he left Washington and most of his legacy post-Washington is what he really reveled in, all of his work that he did. But this is kind of classic for a statesman, for an ex-president. And I just wonder how comfortable he was with this, or whether or not he thought, I am a former president, so this has to happen, not necessarily for me, but for the country.
So I would agree with the latter. I think the dignity of the office, I think, is what he was recognizing here. I also wanted to mention something that happened about 30 minutes before that famous walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, which was the way he began his inaugural address, which was the famous words that I would like to thank my predecessor for all he has done to heal our land. He was talking about Gerald Ford, whom he just defeated. He was talking about the pardon of Richard Nixon, which was very controversial then and now. It was probably a plus for us on the Carter campaign. It counted against Gerald Ford. But Carter decided that the first words he would say on being sworn in as president were recognizing what his predecessor had done through his lights to try to reconcile.
Correct me if I'm wrong, he invited Nixon to the inauguration, but he didn't attend, which was probably right for the best. As I'm watching this, I can't help but just think that this is